Hello students, now we will start our part 2 of governance March month. In the part 1 we have seen some of the apps portals and institutions, right? Now in this particular session we will discuss the initiatives and the program. Starting with the first one is sweep program, very famous old program, not a new program. Sweep program is done by the Election Commission of India. So what does sweep means? Systematic voter education and participation, electoral participation. So the idea is very clear from the full form itself. So voter education and participation. The objective being, you can use these arguments when you're writing a polity answer or an essay answer related to the politics. Increasing the electoral participation through voter registration turnout. Okay, that's fine. This one is good. Increasing the qualitative participation. So how will the qualitative participation increase? When they have the information, right? And they will do the ethical voting, right? Not based upon your pre-modern identities such as caste, religion, but rather issue-based politing and the policy-based voting. Then continuous electoral and democratic education, that the election should not remain a periodic accountability, rather an continuous accountability process, right? Okay, so this is sweep program. Inclusion of sweep program involves a lot of stakeholders such as media, civil society organization, NGOs, government departments obviously will be there, right? Okay, next is scheme for promotion of manufacturing of the electronics components and semiconductors. So specs, not a specific name is given, but specs scheme is there. Full form being scheme for promotion of manufacturing of electronics component and semiconductor, right? So in this particular scheme, government is offering a financial incentive of 25% of the capital expenditure that being done if you are manufacturing the supply chain of the electronic products. Now you know the semiconductors are being used in the electronic component, right? A lot of semiconductors are used. So if you are investing in that, then the government will give subsidy. It's a successor of earlier package. Earlier MSIPS was already there. I think the question was already asked on MSIPS. What is MSIPS? Very easy question was there. So it's a successor of the earlier incentive scheme. Okay, the incentive will be available if you make an investment from 5 years within the date of application of acknowledgement of application. So if you can application, you are acknowledged, then within the 5 years, if you make an investment, you will be given 25% capital subsidy. Subsidy on capital expenditure. That is okay. One of the reasons behind is because in India, we are good in softwares. Why this subsidy? We are good in software. However, our manufacturing is specific to the area of electronics manufacturing. It's really poor. Okay, we import a lot of our equipments from China. Now you know many of cause the security concerns. Also, many of the MI phones or have been restricted to some of the security establishment, and majority of the phones that we use come from China itself. So we have to back up with our manufacturing capability also. If we want to utilize and make in India and all these programs have to succeed, we have to invest in that, because slowly and slowly, you know, the smartphone penetration is also increasing. Okay, next is modified electronics manufacturing cluster scheme. Same in the same context, that I have discussed. So this in the same context, they want to incentivize the manufacturing of the electronics. So it is the EMC 2.0 scheme. Okay, so it's a scheme for the development of the world-class infrastructure along with a common facility and amenities through electronics manufacturing cluster. Now, whenever you say the words like cluster or words like park, mega food park, or today we will see drugs park or cluster-based scheme, the idea is same. So as to have some basic common infrastructure, for example, providing some basic common infrastructure specific to what you are doing. For example, if you are producing the medicine, then some basic chemical infrastructure like will be there. Roads are the very common structure required in every case, but very specific infrastructure is also required. Waste removal and all these things. When you are doing electronics manufacturing, then also e-waste is there. Along with that, many other infrastructure facility, common basic infrastructure facility are needed. Along with that, the industries will be set up. So it's called a hub and spoke model. Okay, so hub is common infrastructure and all these companies can use this also. The same name is also used and plug and play model. For example, what does that mean? Plug and play, plug and play model. If the question comes plug and play model, this is also the same. What is this? So if you come, for example, what is plug? Plug, if you increase your charger in that, charge in the socket, your phone starts charging, right? The charging instantaneously starts. You do not care what this charging infrastructure is. same is the concept. This charging infrastructure provided by the government. So government will provide the basic infrastructure. Company comes, they plugs in, they use this infrastructure and start doing the work. The company should not delve into creating some basic infrastructure, roads and all these things. The basic infrastructure should be provided by the government, and this is called plug and play model. So that it incentivizes the companies to come and set up and start the manufacturing right away, so that the gestation periods reduces. They start getting the profit or the income right away. Okay, that makes an India as a attractive investment destination. Okay, so these few keywords, keep that in mind. Okay, so India wants to be a hub of the global mobile and component manufacturing, right? So it will set up the manufacturing cluster, setting up of the common facility center. Now you get what is the common facility center, right? It would be set up in the area where the significant number of existing manufacturing units are located. This is an important point. So you want to create clusters. However, already some units should be there, right? So focus on upgrading the common technical infrastructure, providing common facilities, right? And India's share is increasing. However, it is really still very low. Okay, 1.3% to 3%. We have increased our global electronics manufacturing. However, we still have a substantial market to capture in that. This is not with respect to the population or the demand that is currently in our country. Okay, now the question can also be asked whether the India's global electronic manufacturing has reduced from 2012 to 2018. So answer will be wrong. The manufacturing has grown, but has not grown with respect to the demand that is for us, right? Not only catering to demand, but also for the exporting purposes also, right? Okay, so I was discussing the plug and play facility. You see, it is in that. So the benefits will be robust infrastructure and all this, availability of ready infrastructure, and the plug and facility for attracting the electronic sector. Okay, now I think you get the idea. New investment will be there, jobs and revenue will be there, obviously. Okay, right. Next is schemes approved for the promote drug manufacturing in India. Now, before starting that, I'll just set up the context written here. India is said to be the generic powerhouse of the world, right? Generic powerhouse of the whole world, where a lot of generic medication build, right? However, the problem is we are the leading manufacturer for generic medication or the pharmaceutical in totality. However, we import a lot of API. Okay, active pharmaceutical ingredients. So a lot of dependence on the countries like China for API. Now that's a big problem. Though we are importing this a lot, and then we are exporting or we are manufacturing, then it creates a dependency and also problem of the import bill. So the idea of India is to promote our own active pharmaceutical ingredients in India. So manufacturing push to these in India. It's a very timely intervention. I think it should be done before, but however, so they have started two specific schemes. A scheme for the promotion of bulk drug parks, and second is production linked incentive. Okay, so the drug park will create the, as it is, park scheme, park or cluster, same thing. Common infrastructure facility will be created. So they will create 3 drug parks. Okay, around 3,000 crore. Then production link incentive. So key drug intermediaries and API will be created through this scheme. Okay. Now, first we will start with discussion of the API itself, active pharmaceutical ingredients. Okay, so these are what? They are the main raw material used in the medicine. For example, I'll give you, there are many medicines such as Dolo, you must have heard of it, Dolo or Calpol. So these are the brands. Beneath that, there is an API of paracetamol. So paracetamol can said to be the basic thing which creates a therapeutic effect. So it's a main raw material from which these medicines are built. Okay, now they will act paracetamol, they will add something else, and they will create a new medicine. But these are the raw materials for the medicine, and these raw materials we basically import from China. So India imports around 80 to 85% of API. Just 1 second. 80 to 85% of the API from China. Okay, and this accounts for a lot of our import bill as also. In India, it's a country like Sun Pharma. These countries manufacture their API, but for their captive use, means for their own use. That's it. So our import stands for 3.5 billion per year. Okay, around out of which 70% or 80%, the figure keeps on fluctuating, around 2.5 billion comes from China. Okay, there is also a problem when the imports, in case of India, in India China conflict, if trade becomes an issue, then API availability becomes an issue. So it is said to be India's pharma's health hazard. Now, discussing these two schemes, we already discussed that. So bulk drug park, so they'll create 3 bulk drug park, right? So it will give some grant units to the states with the maximum limit of 1,000 crore for per bulk drug park. So 3,000 crore have been approved for that. It will be implemented through a state implementing agency. One agency will be designated, and it will do the same thing. And the state government is given the responsibility for that. Okay. The common infrastructure I was talking about, right? In the parks, on the clusters, such as recovery plants, in the case of the drugs, distillation plants, power and steam unit, common effluent treatment plant, like this. Okay. Next is production linked incentive scheme. So this scheme is for the same thing. It will be implemented by a project management agency nominated by the Department of the Pharmaceutical. So if they ask a tough question, they'll ask you the detail, right? However, they can ask you question on API or something like that. It will be a really easy question they can also ask, and they can ask you a tough questions also, because that's a really important area for the India health. Especially with COVID, these health related sector becomes important. They may not ask question directly on the COVID, but they can ask questions related to the health sector in both pre and mains. Next is solar Charkha missions. So solar Charkha mission. So solar Charkha mission, it was in the news because earlier it was decided that no subsidy will be given. Now they have decided that some sort of subsidy will be given for the people. Subsidy to be provided artisan under the solar Charkha mission. So it was launched in 2018 by Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. Right. The primary objective of the mission was to implement 50 clusters, solar Charkha clusters across the country. Okay. Now they have decided to give the subsidy on it. So objective will be very small objective. Why? Solar Charkha. So it itself includes all the objective in it. Solar means no environment, no damage to the environment. So first thing is that. Then Charkha, that means decentralized employment, low cost, innovative technologies for sustenance, right? Plus it will boost the rural economy. If the rural economy is boosted, then it will reduce the rural to urban migration. Now, government itself did not know the migration extent, the problem they faced in this lockdown. They themselves did not have idea that this much migrant will come back. And for that, all the planning has relatively came to standstill. Right? It will lead to inclusive development because a lot of Charkha being used by the women also. So it will lead to women and employment for women and youth. Okay, so this is how they want to create help. So what is the implementing agency for solar Charkha is KVIC. We have discussed KVIC in many times, right? Many of the schemes of KVIC we have also discussed. So solar Charkha units are classified under the village industries. Okay. And the subsidy given will be on the 3 parts. For example, capital subsidy for individual, then inter-subvention on the working capital. So if you want a working capital to use it, so for that you will be given some inter-subvention. You will be given the loan and some sort of interest will be reduced. Then capacity building or training for the people. For that subsidy will be used. Next is BEE. Okay, BEE is star rating program. So why it is in the news? Because BEE star rating program, now they have decided to include it, deep freezers and light commercial air conditioners for under this particular star rating program. Now star rating, stars are given on your equipment, fridge, cooler, AC, all these fans also have stars. So how much energy efficient your system is. Okay. So if at 5 star, that means more star means more savings. Savings means you can save in electricity. However, the cost, for example, you're going to buy an AC with 3 star and the same AC with 5 star. So the cost of the 5 star will be more. So that's one of the issue why that option is relatively slow. However, for example, those who believe in environment and also savings through electricity, they invest in the higher star equipments also. Okay. So this star labeling program is started by Bureau of Energy Efficiency, BEE, Bureau of Energy Efficiency under the Energy Conservation Act. They have covered around 24 appliances, around 10 are mandatory. So there is one mandatory and one is voluntary. Mandatory means you have to keep a star rating in it. Voluntary means it is up to the manufacturer whether they want to, but they should do it. Similarly, these two things, deep freezer and the ACs, they are on the voluntary basis, not mandatory basis. Okay. and they are the major energy guzzlers. That means they take out a lot of energy. So if the star rating system is people do use a star rating system in that, then it is said to have around 10 billion units of electricity is to be saved by 2030. Okay, a lot of energy to be saved here. Then discussing about BEE, Bureau of Energy Efficiency, it's a statutory body under Ministry of Power. Many of the initiatives of BEE also come across in current affair. Created in 2002 under the Energy Conservation Act, right? The programs of BEE, as we have discussed, star labeling program, Energy Conservation Building Code. PAT was last year in news. Perform achievement rate, right? So they do for the energy efficiency. Many of the programs they take up. Okay, the energy's function obviously is to create the program which increase the conservation and efficient use of the energy in India. The second initiative of the BEE that we're going to discuss here is Urja Dakshata Information Tool. So what is this Urja Dakshata Information Tool? They are developing it with World Resource Initiative. So along with the partnership of World Resource Initiative, they are developing this particular tool, okay, to facilitate the database on the energy efficiency. Okay, so it will showcase the capacity, how much capacity building being done, new initiative taken by the government across the sectors to increase the energy efficiency domain. Okay, discussing about WRI, it is a global institution, non-profit organization headquartered in Washington DC. It will promote all this from the name itself, World Resource Institute. So it will improve the sustainability, economic opportunity, human health and well-being. So Urja Dakshata is a user-friendly platform that explains the energy efficiency landscape in India. And obviously it will include all the government taken initiative. Okay. Next is Tech for Tribal program. So this program is by the TriFed. We have already discussed TriFed in our previous discussions. Tribal Cooperative Marketing Development Federation of India, very important institution, taking a lot of efforts for the tribes. So Tech for Tribe is under which program? One of the flagship scheme is for the tribals. We have already discussed that, Vandhan, Pradhan Mantri Vandhan Yojana. Okay, so how you should prepare it? You should prepare a flagship scheme, right? And what you can get initiatives under it. For example, Tech for Tribal is an initiative under it. Vandhan scholarship, we will see one scholarship we have seen here. Vandhan internship, sorry, not scholar, it's something like that. Vandhan internship program we have already seen, right? Previous years, previous months, current affairs. So again, under TriFed, under this Vandhan Yojana. Vandhan Yojana we also discussed. So empowering the tribal community through value addition. And one of the value addition can come through technology. And for that initiative, that is Tech for Tribals. Okay, so Tech for Tribal initiative of TriFed, it will aim at the capacity building for imparting the entrepreneurship skill to the tribal forest producer gatherers enrolled under the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. So what basically entrepreneurship skills they will add? For example, product positioning, distribution channels, business plan, market survey, all these hand-holding supports to them will be provided. Digital literacy, idea adoption, all these things will be provided, right? Which are the institutions that are supporting it? It is launched in collaboration with IIT Kanpur, IIT Roorkee, my alma mater, then IIM Indore, Kalinga Institute of Social Science, Bhubaneswar, etc. Okay. Next is crop diversification program. Now you must have heard of the crop diversification, that we should do it. Why? Because the green revolution has led to the what economic survey called cereal centric agriculture in India, right? So India's agriculture has become cereal centric because of the green revolution along with the MSP. Now while reading the oil seed also, in the February month, while reading the oil seed, we have read that because of the ineffective MSP regime, the oil seed production has decreased in India despite the yellow revolution. And the farmers start shifting to the cereal centric, right? Because of that, crop diversification faced an issue. Now, we need crop diversification for many of the purposes. For fighting the malnutrition, for the soil efficiency, for soil health, for more production, farmer livelihood, many issues. And that is why crop diversification become itself a part of the Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana. Okay. So implemented in the original green revolution state to divert the area of the paddy crops to alternate crops in tobacco states to encourage tobacco farmer to shift to the alternate crop and other cropping system. Okay. Our idea is to save the water and the soil of each soil, water and soil and other parameters. Okay, so what are the interventions they are taking? Just one second. What interventions they are taking? Four major interventions: alternative crop demonstration for mechanization, mechanization value addition, site specific activities, awareness training and monitoring. So these are the interventions that they are taking. Okay. So it also provides flexibility to the states for state specific needs and the priorities under the Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana. Okay, this much is relevant for us. Next is Ekam Fest. So Ekam Fest is organized by your just one second, for the Divyangan community. Ekam full form, first of all, see, Ekam full form is, Ekam means entrepreneurship, knowledge, awareness and marketing. Okay, so it's an effort for promoting the entrepreneurship for the Divyangjan community. Okay, so generating awareness among society about the potentialities of the PWDs, people with disabilities, providing major marketing opportunity to the PWD entrepreneurs. Now you must have seen that many of times they fetch premium price, because when the proper marketing is done, that particular product is made by the particular community, for example rural community or people with PWD, then they fetch the premium price also. So they attach a social value or ethical value to the product. So if the people know that okay, this product is for example, that product costs only 10 rupees, but if it made by the PWD, then people are willing, many of the people are willing to pay 20 rupees, because they know that their money is going for the people, for their betterment or for their empowerment, right? So we need to encash that platforms. Okay, so the efforts have been made to create the brand and platform for the marketing the products of these determined entrepreneurs. And also not only these sort of product, but also many of the product that has been created by the people. Okay, so for them also it is important for to get a platform, because for entrepreneurship, just like we have read about Dalit entrepreneurship or Dalit capitalism, these concepts, similarly they also require marketing, hand holding support. So for that the fest has been organized. Okay, next is IDEX initiative. So IDEX initiative has been organized by the government. So defense excellence, to boost the manufacturing and innovation in the defense area, and especially through the defense startups, coming up with the defense startup, as the defense industry has been open to the FDIs and private sector also. So they want to utilize all the efficiency, all the what we say, capabilities of the private sector in the defense sector. Okay, because one of the problem in the defense sector also face is of poor manufacturing and the lot of import bill. Okay, defense manufacturing can become a very important main paper, main examination question, that what are the efforts have been taken, what have been the impediments for improving the defense manufacturing in India. Okay, so IDEX aim to promote innovation technology development in the defense and the aerospace sector by engaging the industry, which includes MSME, startups, individual innovators, R&D and all this, right? They'll be funded by the Defense Innovation Organization, which is an executive arm of the which will serve as an executive arm. Okay, so sorry, so its executive arm will be IDEX, Defense Innovation Organization's executive arm will be IDEX. Okay, right. Next is Kiran scheme. So Kiran scheme, I've told you, we have discussed a lot about STEM, women in STEM, right? Many of time I've given you reference. One of the flagship schemes for inclusion of the women in STEM, or promoting their presence in the STEM, for bringing gender parity in the field of the research, the Kiran scheme has been announced. It's an old scheme and it has been redesigned again and again by the government. So Kiran means knowledge involvement in research advancement through nurturing. The Kiran full form is this. So it encompasses the women exclusive schemes and encourage them to foster their career by undertaking research in the science and tech. Okay, they also takes care of the what are the grassroots challenges and why women in STEM will be there, and how it will create more efforts or more benefits at the grassroots level, especially the inclusion of the women in the science and tech schemes. Okay, so as we've discussed, the objective of the current scheme to bring gender parity in the science and tech through gender mainstreaming. So they have designed WOS schemes, I don't think individual schemes are important, but I have kept it in the subsequent slides also. So WSA talks about research in the basic and the applied science. WSB talks of science and tech innovation for the societal benefits, and WSC talks about specific internship in the IPR. So a relatively more advanced scheme, WSC. Okay. So WSA and WSB are directly implemented through Kiran division, and the third one is implemented by the TIFAC. Okay. So this is WA scheme, WSA scheme. Okay, in the field of the applied basic or the applied science in the field of the science and technology. Then WSB scheme for addressing the well-defined social challenges and deliver the possible solution by way of development of the viable technology for its adaptation and scaling, right? So women scientists will be given opportunities, and then in the third one, WSC will be implemented through Technology Information Forecasting and Assessment Council, TIFAC. Okay, right. Next one is fellowship of the women in STEM. So this is India-US fellowship. I should have included in international affair, but however we are talking about women in STEM, that is why we have covered it here. So it's a program of the Department of Science and Technology in association with the Indo-Science Science and Tech Forum. Okay, so what they provide some sort of internship for the women. Okay, provide opportunities for Indian women scientists, engineers, technologies to undertake international collaboration in the premium institutes of the USA. So they can go into there and take some premium knowledge and come back and apply that in India, some sort of thing. So women overseas students internship module 1 and module 2. So for first one, who are still pursuing PhD, and those who have pursued the PhD. So two categories are there. Okay, and in the March, some women granted India-US fellowship in the science and tech. Now with COVID, I don't know when they will go for this. The age they have decided 41 to 45 years. Okay. Next is Project Isaac. Very interesting project started by IIT Gandhinagar. Okay, so IIT Gandhinagar has said what the logic that they have given, that Mr. Isaac Newton, when he was studying in one of the institutes, that is Trinity College in Cambridge, so he was said that go to your home. Why? Because there was a great plague in London. Just like in the COVID, many of the students who are studying, they are said, okay, go back to your home. So it is said that Isaac Newton, when he was at his home, so he developed one of his most profound discoveries, early calculus and many of the stories on optics and the gravity there. So just inspired from that idea, IIT Gandhinagar has come up with a project to engage the students while they are at home, right? So they are provided into very different categories. Competitions have been created: writing, painting, coding, music, creative expression, and all this. Okay. So critical thinking during the Corona lockdown. Or many of the IITs and many institutions are doing a follow up on it. Okay, around 40% of the students have already participating in it. Then next is a good program of DAE, Department of Atomic Energy. So what they are doing basically, for example, many of the technologies that DAE develops, right, atomic energy. So using those technology, around those technology, how these also technologies, some of them can be used to address the societal challenges or the day-to-day societal needs. So they demonstrate those technologies in the rural areas, in agriculture, how those technologies can be used. Now you will be surprised to know that many of the equipments that we see today, many of equipments come from the frontier research in space. For example, I've read it somewhere that the vacuum cleaner that we use today was earlier used in developed by NASA to clean something in space or something like that. So they have research there, and finally it came in the day-to-day use. And just like that, there are many of the applications like that. So how to use this frontier tech done in DAE, done in BARC, and many of the institutions, for example, this one, Raja Ramanna Center for Advanced Technology, how many of the technology developed here can be used for the people, right? For that, they have come up with an exhibition. Okay, now, so yeah, they are called spin-off technologies. So used in the area of water, agriculture, food processing, agricultural land, like this. Okay, so one of the program is Akruti. Okay, so what is this? Akruti force, formulated by BARC. The idea is the same. Okay, so use those spin-off technologies in the day-to-day forces, day-to-day things. Okay, so the program is a potential to encourage the village techno entrepreneurship based upon the Bharat technologies. So these people, many village techno entrepreneurs will come to that exhibition. They will see that this technology exists and how this technology can be used to a specific task. Okay, right. So Kurti full form is Advanced Knowledge and Rural Technology Implementing Initiative. Next is important one, UDISE. So UDISE itself is not important. UDISE plus is important. That we'll discuss after it. So it was in the news that UDI survey. So this survey comes up with the information on the state of education in India. Okay. So for example, some information was there that 40% of the students do not have the playground, electricity, all work and no play. So they have found in Odisha that 1 out of the 4 did not have the playground. 3 out of 4, sorry. So that means 75% does not have the playground, 40% of the national average. So what is this UDIC? That is Unified District Information System. That is database about the school in India, developed at the National University and Educational Planning and Administration. Now important, this is the same thing. The school does not have electricity. So you can see the amount of the states. So many of the states which do not have less than 50% electricity. Okay. More importantly, what UDISE plus is important because it is mentioned many times in our economic survey and many government schemes also. So what is UDISE plus? So it's an updated and improved version of UDISE. Okay. So this particular UDISE was started in 2012, 2013. The idea was to create having some information, okay, on different parameters. Now UDISE plus is this only. So it's an improved version of UDISE. It will be more online, gradually move towards the collecting the real time data. Okay, they include the feature of Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan. Samagra Shiksha we have already done. Okay, so currently the things are being done at the manual level. Okay, there are many problems with the current UDISE. Okay, for that, improving upon that, they have come up with UDISE plus. What are the different things? For example, a common platform, using a exam centric or school centric parameters, singular technology, not different technology. Because we will see one of the problems with UDISE. For example, I have kept the limitation of UDISE. For example, offline data collection system, outsourcing of the data collection to the third party. So a lack of audit. Okay, different in the single data capture format for all categories of school. So comparing the schools 1 to 5 is different, 6 to 9 is different, 9 to 11, 9 to 12 is different. But they're using the same format for all these. This is wrong, right? Similarly, lack of verification, analysis of data, lack of coordination and supervision, multiple version of the same software. So again, integration of the various details becomes an issue. So all these problems will be sorted by the UDISE plus, and the new data will be collected on this platform. Okay. This much information I think is relevant. Limitation is more or less important for the mains examination. So the idea is to expected outcomes are evidence-based planning and decision making, track key performance indicators, right? Have the idea that which are the schools are lacking in which classes. Okay, so it will give a more realistic picture of the education system so that more evidence-based interventions can be taken. Next is Facebook Pragati. So it is one of the CSR initiatives of the Facebook. Okay, so Facebook India. So when you're writing about CSR in your mains, because the question on CSR can India come in your GS2 or your ethics paper GS4, because in both the mention the CSR corporate governance some sort of questions are expected. Now this Pragati program is for the women led women entrepreneurship. Okay, so early stage women led initiatives, it will incubate and accelerate women led products or women led platforms. Next is integrated disease surveillance program, so IDSP. So what is this program? From the name itself, integrated disease surveillance program. So a centralized database has been created. Okay, on that surveillance will be done. For example, in which area particular outbreak is there. For example, data entry, outbreak reporting, or warning system also based upon the previous year's data and the big data analysis being done on it, so that the future predictions can be done. For example, in the July month in Delhi, dengue problem comes, or JE problems in Bihar comes in summer months or winter months, something like that. So that you can have a proactive approach to the disease, right? Now with COVID-19 also it has become very pertinent. Now every country in the world is realizing that they should have a holistic disease surveillance system all over the world. Okay. Now with respect to India, it is under the Indian Health Mission assisted by the World Bank. So remember, it's a World Bank assisted initiative. So the idea is to they coordinate with the central unit, coordinate with the state unit with the district unit. Okay. So because obviously the data will come from the very basic units also, and then the centralized level the analysis will be done. Okay. So this is integrated disease surveillance program under Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. So with this we finish our discussion. Let us quickly revise, starting with the sweep program by the Election Commission of India for electoral awareness and electoral participation. Then two schemes we have seen for the electronics manufacturing. First one is scheme for promotion of manufacturing of the electronics component and semiconductor. Second, we have seen this one modified electronics manufacturing cluster scheme. Then we have seen two schemes for the bulk bulk drug promotion. First we have read what is API, active pharmaceutical ingredient. Then we have read promotion of the bulk drug park scheme, then production linked incentive scheme. Then we have read about solar charkha scheme. Now they are providing some sort of subsidy to these people. Then BEE star rating system, and second initiative we have seen Udit Urja Dakshata information tool, and by the BEE institutions we have also read. Then tech for tribal institution by the TriFed under Bandhan Yojana. Okay. Then crop diversification program, then Ekam initiative, Ekam Fest for the Divyangjans, PWDs. Then innovations for defense excellence. Okay. Then Kiran scheme, very important scheme, Kiran scheme, one of the flagship schemes I'll say. Then fellowship for this India-US collaboration for women in STEM. Then Project Isaac, very interesting project by IIT Gandhinagar. Then Akruti program, DAE, BARC and Raja Ramanna Institute for Advanced Science, Indore also involved, right? Then UDSC, UDISC and UDISC plus we have seen. Okay, the features and what are the problems. Problems are more or less important for mains, not for pre. Then Project Pragati and Facebook Pragati, and then if the question will come with the Pragati. Then integrated disease surveillance program. With this we finished our discussion. Okay, then we have finished our March governance 2 session and March part 2. Now in the third part we start with the COVID centric initiatives, right? And then we will discuss some of the remaining initiatives, right? So with this we finish our March, and see you in the next class everyone. Bye bye. Thank you.